mean, what makes a song? What is a song?
Oh, oh, I don't know. You open the door here.
Welcome to Sparkling Harmonies. We're your hosts, Lily,
And Francois,
and we are two friends who don't quite listen to the same genre or music,
but
but
we are here to talk about everything and anything music related.
yay!
Hey, I think I spoke over you.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. So this week we're doing something that we found interesting, which was um, what's most important to you when you listen to music? Is it melody or is it the lyrics? But before we get into that, let's get into what we've been listening to. So, what have you been listening to, Francois?
I just get into the bandwagon of the Linda Lindas.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really young band. uh,
Yeah. How old are they? I don't.
uh, I, s-
I saw the what you sent me, but I didn't.
yeah,
I didn't look it up.
because what I sent you is the song "Racist." I'm sorry, I don't remember the proper way, but "Racist Boy" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a show that was captured during the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, if
Yeah.
I'm saying properly.
Asian American Pacific Heritage Month. AAPI. Yeah. Anyway, Pacific
Dave.
Islander.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
And they just explain their music and their style. And somewhere, so during the interview, someone asked them, "How old are you?" And they are between 10 for the drummers,
Oh my
and
god.
if I'm not mistaken, 16 for the Prince lead singer.
10. But baby. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I have to say they are pretty good
Oh yeah.
player,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say like bad word game, but they are tight together. Like
Mm-hmm.
they sound like they're playing together for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know exactly how long they're playing together. I think it's like 2 years, but they're really good. I like the I don't know. It's really inspired by the Riot Girl from the 90s, like
Mm-hmm.
Bikini Kills. For that, they probably like worship Bikini Kill. They play with them last year. They even played their song during the Moxie movie. I don't know
Oh
if you
wow.
saw them.
No, I didn't.
Uh, they're playing the whole soundtrack and they're playing some Bikini Kill song, and you can actually see them during the movie
The
because there's a
movie.
party and they had a house band. They're dressed up like in the Kill Bill, like
Okay.
the band that's playing with like everyone is like a white shirt and skirt. I really enjoy them. They just signed a record deal with Epitaph Record,
Wow.
so I'm really excited to hear like a whole album because
Mm-hmm.
just looking at them, they had so much fun playing. So it's like it's contagious. Like you
Mm-hmm.
look at them and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's cool. Like it's fun to play music. So I
But
really enjoy them.
it's funny because you shared one of their songs on Facebook a few weeks ago, I think, right?
Yes.
And then like shortly after, I saw somebody else share that who somebody like from another group of people of acquaintances, and I was like, "Whoa, wait!" So it was really interesting because I feel like they're starting to get pretty well known and kind of out there right now.
Yeah, I think they went to. I'm not sure. I'm not good with the late night shows in the USA, but I think it's Jimmy Kimmel. He
Okay,
invite them live.
right.
So, like it it's mostly a good thing to be young and that good because every spot go on you because look how whole how not old how young
How
they are.
young? Yeah.
Yeah, how young they are and how good they are
Mm-hmm.
because you can criticize them as you wish, but they have talent. So it's hard because I'm old. I play music and I'm not that good.
Yeah.
Or even I don't have like that chemistry with a band and like that traction. And I don't know, they have it. And That's really cool. Seriously, you have to listen to that.
Yeah, no, they were really cool. They were really interesting. So I'm excited to see what's in store for them, and I mean how they can grow even more. I mean,
Yeah,
imagine if they're so good now, imagine the potential.
yeah, the potential, especially if it's their own thing. This is
Hmm.
not like a business trip. It's just like
Yeah.
they want to play it. Yeah, it's probably a cool ride to see and enjoy.
The only thing is I just hope that now that they're signed onto a label, the label's not going to try to control them too much, which sometimes happens.
Yeah, maybe. But if I'm not mistaken, there's two sisters in the band, and their father is a music producer or something like that.
Oh,
They
okay.
they have like a foot into the industry, so
Right.
maybe it's gonna be
A
easier for
little.
them. But also as kids in the big industry, like to have at least a parental figure with you.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's gonna be more sane,
A more
healthy,
healthy
healthy.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
probably.
what about you, Lily? What have you been listening to?
So I've been listening to N Flying's new album. They released so this really surprised me. This N Flying is a K-rock band. They've been active since 2013,
Okay.
but this is their first full-length album, Man on the Moon.
After 5 years. Oh,
After
oh,
2013,
13. Oh, sorry. 8 years.
8 years. Yeah,
That's
so
long. That
yeah. So in 2013, they released their first single. They released their first EP in 2015, and since then it's just been singles or tracks or EPs. But that's very frequent in Korea and Japan. I know they release a lot of EPs and not necessarily a lot of full albums. But so yeah, so this is their first full length album since they debuted, which is
and
crazy.
the look, because I look at some covers and other song they had on the YouTube after you sent me the
Hmm.
video, and I like the aesthetic.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
dream, and I don't know. It's funky and fun, just
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah. So well, the track that I've been listening to a lot is let me just make sure, Moonshot, which
Mhm.
is their title track. Well, the not title track, but single off the album. And I think they really chose a good song. That's like I feel like after listening to the album a couple of times, that's my favorite track. It's just very upbeat. It sounds very fun, and they did a good choice with their single.
Yes,
It's the
totally.
standout
I
song.
even me, I enjoy it. And I was surprised because at first I didn't realize there were two singers,
Yeah.
because when you see them, it's like shadows, and they
Mm-hmm.
are on a house, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, oh, the guy is rapping now. Oh no, it's not the same guy. So
But
there's two singers.
the guy who raps also sings though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was sure that was the same guy at the beginning.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
surprise, there's two singers in a small band, because they have like they're 5 members, I think.
Yeah, they're
It's
five.
pretty like rock normal,
Mm-hmm.
but two singers, it's not that popular, or at least
Yeah.
you don't see that too much.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because then there's day six where there's four singers out of five.
Yeah.
Well, four and a half because the drummer even sings sometimes.
Yeah.
And what else have you been listening to?
Another band that made me feel old and not enough talent. The band is called Crypta.
Mm-hmm.
It's a band from Brazil, but I think one of the guitar players from Netherlands. And it's like a mix of everything I like in heavy music under the same band. So it's trash singing, there's black metal influence, there's death metal influence, there's I don't know how many riff by square inches.
Mm.
It's just a big riff fest, and those solos are insane. There's so much talent in the band. I know there's some of the members that were into another band before, but
Okay.
like you feel it's their first album as a group.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not perfect, and there's a trance in metal that's like sometimes weird and seem forced. It's the intro song, like
Okay.
an instrumental song that have no link with the rest, or try to put a mood, and it's always weird. I don't know. I think it's weird because it's like a cliche. You put like an orchestral song, and after you have like a full blast with growls and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a cliche, but other than that, the album is like really well balanced. There's no like weak link. It's just like a good album, and I'm really excited to see them live because
One day.
yeah, one day I saw behind the scenes they did for the recording, and again, they look like they're having so much fun together.
Oh.
Like, yeah, it's aggressive music, but if you look at the videos, they are smiling, laughing, they're making joke at each other. Like
Mm-hmm.
they look like good friends that having a blast playing music. So
Well, that's good. I mean, when I listened to it, it was a little heavy for me.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
But I hope you get to see them in show. Talking about, speaking of having fun and everything, I'm just a little segue before I get into my other one. So on Monday and no, Sunday and Monday, I watched the two BTS shows,
Okay.
and they always look like they have a lot of fun also on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
You show
a
me a video like
I
they
sure
were running at each other's, to throwing
yeah.
water bottle and
Yeah, on one of the tracks, they decided that because on usually on stage they're always throwing the water at the crowd and everything. So this time there was no crowd, so they were like, "Well, I'm gonna throw it at you." And one of them got really drenched, and so when he finished his verse, he started running after the one who had thrown the water, and they ran like all across the stage. It was
yeah,
really
that was a
funny.
pretty big stage.
Yeah. But to get into my next one, I've been listening to Grayscale because they've released 4 tracks, I think it's 4, that they did live at the Theater of Living Arts in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
This was a show that they did in October 2019. So they released some tracks that they did there, and also on YouTube they released some videos from that show with the songs.
So
Um,
maybe some things coming up.
Maybe, or maybe this is their way of giving something to the fans. They haven't released anything in a while. So I mean, if they have this recorded, why not
Yeah.
release it,
Why
right?
not? Why not?
So that they're really good. They sound amazing live. I haven't had the chance to see them live yet. Maybe soon.
Maybe they're starting to have some show.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I bought my first show ticket for
oh yeah,
October. Yeah.
which one?
Miyavi, which is a Japanese rocker that I used to listen to when I was in high school.
Okay.
He's coming in October at Le
Oh,
National on, I don't remember the date. So we'll
maybe
see.
your first show of the year. Maybe.
Maybe. My first real show, because I've seen
Yeah.
quite a few virtual shows by now.
Yeah, yeah. But like with real people and having a blast with other people. So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I think that wraps up what we've been listening to. So let's get into the subject of today. Melody versus lyrics. How do you want to go about this?
I am an 100% music come first person.
Yeah, same.
Like
Same.
like, and that's funny because when I start like thinking about that question, I wasn't sure because I'm supposed to be the literature guy. That's
Mhm.
what I study in. So, but
It's true.
even that, there's melody in words, there's delivery in poetry, and it's kind of a music. So
Mhm.
it all goes together. To me, there's nothing more important. It just if I have a song in my head, even if I don't know the name of the band, the name of the song, if I can sing it or hum it, I'm already hooked.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That made me think when you're listening to a song when you hear a song for the first time, okay? You might remember the melody,
Yep.
but like chances are you're not going to remember the lyrics, or you're going to try to remember one part of the lyrics to try to remember the song. Like the number of times that I've been in situations where I told my friends like, "Oh, do you know that song? It goes like na 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 na." Right? Right? That's
Too much.
Because I'm the same as you. I feel like the melody is what draws me in. And then after, I'll look at the lyrics.
Yeah, and how can I say that? It can be a good song and even a greater song when lyrics are like one step
Mm-hmm.
over.
Yeah.
So it still can be a good song because the problem with lyrics, they're really subjective.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have like the best banger in the world, but all you say during the whole song is bitches, 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 money, bitches, bitches, bitches.
Yeah.
Like, not sure.
Well, then again, that does, like, I feel like songs that are like that, to me, I guess I do hold a certain importance to the lyrics, or maybe the songs that have those kind of lyrics were just never good enough, in my opinion. Like, they didn't
Yeah,
have a good enough melody to hook me on, because um if they're really lyrics that if they're really just saying money, 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 bitch, bitch, bitch the whole time, I don't think I'll like the song. Even, but maybe if they had a really top-notch melody, I might. But it's funny because also, when when we when I listen to, like old punk or old emo songs, most of those bands sing about, high school and drama and stuff like that. And I'll be singing along even though I don't relate to that anymore. But also, but like I still find the song catchy. Like
yeah,
the Point North song I recommended our last episode.
yeah. But like you said, that was catchy even
Yeah.
before you knew or you sing the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I saw an old interview of Kurt Cobain when I was way younger, and someone asked him like, "What's come first?" And back in the day, there was like I don't know if it's a myth, but every time someone is popular, everyone try to overanalyze like everything they
Mm-hmm.
do.
I mean, that's still
So
true now, probably.
yeah, and so there was like a myth about like his cryptic stuff, and there was a hiding messages and stuff like that. And he said, "Yeah, I like cryptic stuff because I don't want to have like an old plain sentence. But to me, music comes first. But to him, music comes first, and
Mm-hmm.
after the lyrics, because probably it's easier to put lyrics on a good music than
Track.
doing
Yeah.
on the other
Yeah.
way around.
Hmm. I mean, I don't know. I don't write music, so I don't know. Like, how does your band go about it?
Normally, it's music first,
Music first.
uh, but I'm not saying I have the truth, but for us, that's worked better because the singer is a is a dad with kids, so he don't have like as much time as me, for example. And most of the time, he asks us like send me like the song, and I will work with it. And
Mm-hmm.
there's adjust. We can adjust to that because
Yeah.
sometimes like I have a longer sentences. Can you like repeat the last part? But like I see it for him, it's probably easier to lay on something. Like it's not just like I throw lyrics and I hope for the
Yeah.
best.
But then I know there are a lot of artists that when they're on tour or something, they carry around a lyric book, or a notebook where they'll just write down thoughts and lyrics or potential lyrics that then become songs.
Yeah, it's another way to do it because at the end it's just tools. And sorry, oh,
Bless you.
but they're just tools. Even if it's music or words, you have to work with them to do
Yeah.
something. And maybe on tour, it's easier to write like when you're on the bus than
Mm-hmm.
grab your guitars and hit someone on the head by doing so. Uh,
Yeah.
but maybe it's the difference between someone who's more on into the poetry side of
Mm-hmm.
music. Like if you can, because normally a well-written poem have his own music. I, I saw a guy like write by having like a whole poem. I don't know if I can translate that, but it's called slam. But I don't
I
know
don't I don't know if that's something
because
that's.
because in my side of music, rang slam is like really intense death metal. So I know it's not the same thing, but
Yeah.
when you mix music and poetry, but not the hand thing is not a song, but a poem with music.
Hmm.
That makes sense. Spoken word
But
over music,
yeah,
maybe?
I don't
No?
know. I mean, what makes a song? What is a song?
Oh, oh, I don't know. You open the door here.
Yeah,
The
I don't think we could
Pandora
get.
box.
I don't think we did enough research on this to get into that. But like, I mean, isn't a song music with, or well, not necessarily lyrics. It's
Nothing,
true.
because there's
Not necessarily.
musical
Yeah. Hmm.
instrumentals. Sorry, but what I mean is, I already saw a guy jumping on the stage with a guitar and just listen to the poem, and we're able to like mix with the lyrics.
Is an instrumental song not called a song?
It's a really, really, really long article.
Okay. I see. I see.
Okay.
Because that would be interesting to see.
So probably song is um, from the root of sing, or
Oh, that would make
maybe that's
sense.
that's the point. I don't know how to
So,
say it
so like
properly.
if we're going to if we're talking about Mozart, then I guess those are compositions,
Oh, the nuances, nuances.
right?
Yeah, probably.
And so are all film scores just compositions?
Maybe. Let's see. Composition. It's alive. Compo-
This is we've gone into a spiral at this point,
ah,
the Google spiral.
a musical
So
composition can refer to an original piece of work of or work of music. It's either vocal or instrumental.
okay, there you go. I didn't
Ah,
know a song had to have vocals though. Like who decided that?
some smart ass
Or
in
I feel,
in
but
the 80s.
then again, words always evolve.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
So
like back in the day, like you said, with Mozart and stuff like that, you had like the music, you have like the opera, like it's what's like many parts that were bring together.
right, right. So so that was interesting. Thanks for looking it up. Now we have the official answer. But to go back into the melody and versus lyrics, I did my trusty old Instagram poll. Let's see what we've got now because I always post these very last minute. And so I always check them very last minute. Otherwise, I have not that many answers. So for lyrics versus melody, I got 71% said melody
Melody, okay.
and 29% said lyrics. So I feel like a lot of people are like us in that way. And then I followed that up with another question that I found kind of interesting because if you're more focused on the melody, does language count at that point? So my next one was do you listen to music that's in another language that you might not understand? And that one was also same thing. Not necessarily the same people.
Okay.
Not the same people did vote yes in one and then yes in the other or whatever. I mean melody in one and then yes in the other. But it's the same percentage. So I found that interesting. About 79% also said they do listen to music that is in a language that they
But
don't understand.
I will have another question surfing on that. Would you listen a song that you don't understand the lyrics, even if it's a language you understand? Like for example, I'm listening to a
like
lot of metal,
screaming, like
and seriously, if I don't have the booklet, I don't know what's going on.
I mean, yeah, to me it goes down to the same as listen to music. Like, if I'm listening to a song that I don't understand, it doesn't matter if it's supposed to be in a language that I understand, or if
Yeah,
it's just because it's in a language that I don't understand. Because and I realize this I've done since I was really young, because I used to listen to Japanese music in high school. Well, and
oh,
I don't speak Japanese, and
not yet.
then
Not yet.
now I'm listening to all this Korean music that I don't necessarily understand. Like, yes, of course I'll go and I'll read the lyrics, but even then, like, for example, BTS's discography is so huge. I haven't gone through all of their lyrics yet, you know?
and, and you lost some stuff in translation, so
Also,
maybe
yeah.
it's a bit different.
Yeah, it's funny because one of the songs, they posted this quiz last week, so this is like really fresh in my memory. One of the guys, Jimin, he wrote a song, and in the song there are lyrics that was very hard to translate,
Okay.
and so that like said, a lot of people said, well, I need to learn Korean now because apparently this word doesn't translate perfectly to English, which is interesting because it's true. Some words don't translate well.
Yeah, because some language is based on a reality. So if you don't have
Yeah.
that reality, maybe, yeah, like the cultural baggage and
Mm-hmm.
geographical baggage, maybe
Yeah.
because
Or even, sometimes some expressions, some people will put expressions, and then how do you like, you can't translate an expression word for word. It doesn't really work. Sometimes
it,
it does, but half of the time it doesn't work out.
yeah, I
So,
remember back in the days when I was in France and tried to explain Quebec expression to a French
mhm,
guy, even if it's the same language, and
exactly.
that doesn't work.
Yeah, and so you listen to those bands that sing in English or French, but that you don't understand. But would you? Well, I guess, yeah. You also listen to Korean music.
Yeah, I do, and I really, really enjoy all the Bollywood stuff. And I don't understand. I'm not even sure which language it is because
Hmm.
there's like three
A
official
lot,
language in
yeah,
India.
yeah.
Don't quote me on
I don't
this.
know. I don't know. I'm not sure either. But yeah, I know there's more than one. Pretty sure there's more than two.
Yeah,
Uh,
but like I said, to me that doesn't stop me because,
mhm.
like I said, if I feel it, like I'm not saying I'm gonna dance, but if like it's vibrate, so you get into it.
Yeah, yeah, same. That's why I started listening to Japanese music, because back then I think I was watching anime,
Oh yeah,
and so the opening songs and ending songs, I was like, oh, these are good,
they are
and
epic.
they are,
Seriously.
right.
If you
And I'm
never listen to an anime, watch at least the opening and ending scenes.
like, what the hell is wrong with our cartoons here? Or our
I don't
just
know.
regular TV shows,
I don't
and
know.
they would change the song every like 20 episodes or something.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't
A
realize
lot of
that.
the times, yeah, like Naruto has so many openings and so many endings. But yeah,
And so
so
many episodes.
and so many. I never finished it. But yeah, so even back then, like I didn't care that much, and I I guess since I haven't gone through all the lyrics of the whole BTS discography and the whole Day 6 discography, um, I guess part of me doesn't need to understand to enjoy the song. Because,
Yeah,
some people, they'll listen to the song, and if they don't understand it, they'll go right away and read the lyrics. Um, I mean, maybe I would have if I got into these bands when they didn't have hundreds of songs. But, I don't feel the need to go back and to really memorize the whole song in English.
I'm
You know,
really
to
bad. I'm really bad with that. My wife making fun of me every time. She's probably listening right now. She's always making fun of me because I never sing a song with her
but
because I
even
don't
yeah,
know.
but
I
even
don't know
then,
the.
yeah, because even some English songs, I'll know the chorus, and that's it.
The important
I'll be
part.
like for the rest.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but it's the same thing with like love songs.
Hmm.
That Well, I don't know. I'm not saying all the love songs say the same thing, but it's mostly the same canvas. And
Mm-hmm.
do people care? Because everyone will say it's my love song, but the love song is probably just saying I love you or I miss you and now you're back or something in that
True. So
way.
they usually include like metaphors and stuff, and some people connect more to some metaphors than others. Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
maybe. And even with like I said in the early episode, that I was listening to classic French music,
Mm-hmm.
like it's mostly words with music, but
Mm-hmm.
even there's melody. You like if the melody doesn't help, I think I won't listen to those.
Yeah, I mean, I think like this is good. This goes back to what you had said earlier. A good song can have bad lyrics,
Yes,
but I don't think a good song can have a bad melody. Like your lyrics have to be really,
really good.
really good for the song to for people to ignore the melody part.
We need to talk with someone that really like Bob Dylan, for example,
Mm,
because he's mostly known for what he
he's
writes,
yeah.
sings. But on the other end, all the folk, I would categorize him as folk singer. I know it's not probably like perfect, but it, it's mostly lyrics, but they always like a guitar player or like something behind to
Mm-hmm.
get into the mood. And most people know the song by the first strum of a string. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's my song, even if there's no word yet.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's true. And that's also, it's funny when you say that's my song because you just need to hear two, three notes of a song.
Mm,
And immediately, if it's a song that you like, you'll know.
yeah, I funny part, like funny story. I don't know. I think I said it during what Know Your Host, like our music taste and evolution. I
Mm-hmm.
really like the soundtrack of Last of the Mohican, the movie. And when the song, oh, I don't remember the name of the guy, Owl, Owl Nation.
Um, uh,
Yeah, I think it's Sail, the name of the song. The
mm-hmm.
first time I
Mm-hmm.
heard this song, it's not really in my music world
Genre.
normally,
Yeah.
but I was like, I really love this song. Like, I really, really love this song, and I get really into it, like way too much for what it was. And I listened to the videos and I listened to the songs over and over and over again. And I was like, I really, really love the song until I discovered that was a song from Last of the Mohican, the movie, that was like put like way, way more slow with
Mm.
emphasis on bass, and the guy was singing over that.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand because that was my favorite song in the movie.
Uh, yeah. But you, it's funny because I would have thought that you would have noticed, that you would have recognized it.
I can send you a video like that compare the two, and when you hear the comparison, you can like put line between the dot.
Mm-hmm.
But at the first listen, that wasn't clear.
Okay, so it's not like, remember when I was talking about how if you put a Hans Zimmer song, I'll know. It's not like because I feel like one of the songs from Inception sounds almost exactly like one of the songs from 12 Years a Slave.
Okay,
And so every time that the 12 Years Slave song would come out, I would think that it's the Inception song.
but maybe the same guy that.
I think it is Hans Zimmer for
Okay.
both. I'm not
Oh,
I'm not 100% sure, but the two songs sound very similar. So
it,
that
maybe they come from the same jam, or.
maybe let me see if I had anything that I didn't say yet.
And another thing about the lyrics that maybe pushed me away a bit, it you can get like bad surprises when you discover what's behind the lyrics that
Mm-hmm.
can ruin the song. Like I remember when I was a teenager, I wasn't that good in English, and to me, like that can be the really good song until I realized the guy was singing about the dirty socks or something like that,
Yeah.
and not in a Tom DeLonge way.
Mm-hmm. But then again, sometimes when you really when you like a song and then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, wow, it adds to it.
Yeah.
Because I know I go back to BTS a lot, but that's because that's all I it's like what I've been listening to a lot. But One of their songs, well, a lot of their older songs talks a lot about like criticizing society and stuff like that. And one of their songs, the lyrics are actually used in a university class right now.
Okay.
I think in Korea to no, I don't remember the specifics, but because they were criticizing the society, which is really interesting because you listen to BTS songs and you look at them and you think, they're this
They are
boy
project.
band that probably don't have any meaningful lyrics or anything, but they and I think that's part of why when they first started, the Korea media had a lot of tried to push them back.
Yeah, because they
um
were like lifting the curtains
yeah,
on something you don't
yeah,
want to talk about, or at least
exactly.
not too much.
Yeah, so that I found really interesting because it's not something that you would necessarily expect out of a band with that image, you know? Like you'd expect that out of a punk band, out of, a metal band,
Yeah,
but out of this pop band that's, you know, right now known as like the one of the biggest boy bands in the world, you don't expect to have that kind of meaning
yeah.
in their
I th-
lyrics.
I think we associate like like beautiful face with emptiness, and like
Yeah, it's
there's a
like
contrast.
superficial,
Yeah,
superficial, monotone. Yeah. So that I found really interesting when I read about that. The song is Pepsi, if I'm not mistaken. I'll send it to you later. I'll send you the like the lyric video later so you can check it out. It's interesting. Yeah. So I think we've pretty much covered what
yeah,
we needed to cover for. I mean, it's not a big discussion. We have the same opinion, so we couldn't really debate, right?
yeah. But you opened something really interesting, that what's make a song,
Mm.
because I'm pretty sure I can like twist a bit and had like an ad song, those jingles,
Oh, yeah.
and like because they were probably as symbolic in their time, because I don't know for you, but I still remember some jingle of the had like from probably 30 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. Well, there was that one ad for to learn a language on the radio. And I think if you put the melody, I could tell you that phone number that you have to call again.
I know what you're talking about. You have It's a place you go to learn English when you're in Montreal. It's
Yeah.
but
Uh,
I think it's helped to go to that question, because do you prefer melody? Do you prefer lyrics? But what is a song? Is it the mix of the two? I
yeah.
think yeah or no, because there's instrumentals, and
True, true, true.
instrumentals
You're
can
right. You're
be a
right.
song. To me, it's still a song,
True. No, you're right. Um,
but
I
lyrics
think
together alone, is it a song?
so. A poem is a
So
poem a song?
yeah,
No, I don't know. I'd be interested to see what. Oh my god, I'm
you're
getting really into
shiny.
the sun.
Yeah, you're shiny now.
um, so I'd be really interested to see what a song is defined as,
Oh,
because like it probably if you go into like the definition of a song, then definitely the musical part is more important than the lyrics part. Um, but I think we've pretty much made the rounds on this subject.
yeah.
So this was Lily,
And Francois.
and we'll see you. Well, you'll see us, and you'll listen to us next time. And don't forget to check us out on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Bye.
Bye.